Yoast SEO tutorial video. So far we've been learning about the menu links of Yoast SEO plugin, what certain tabs and options mean, and also the best practices. So let's now learn what else we can do with this plugin. When you're creating your new blog posts or your new pages, let's imagine sample posts 2 as an example, and you definitely then write the content. Now with Yoast SEO plugin you'll have this meta box here. If you don't see it, double check the screen options. Now what we can do is we can edit the snippet. Now that's why the settings that we've done in Yoast SEO plugin options was designed to make your job easier, just in case you end up forgetting things. That means the title of your page can go in here. Surely you can further modify it. Meta description will simply describe this page. I'll show you the published posts that I have so that you kind of get an idea as to how to populate those fields. Let's imagine this is a blog post and we have our Yoast SEO settings for title and also meta description describing the page as well. The slug you should definitely not touch because it's going to be taken from the page slug here. While here, let me show you a trick. Let's imagine you'd like to change the URL to match your title. So while you're creating the post or page, then you decide to yourself, okay, you know what, I'd like to add another word in there. Instead of trying to modify the permalink, you can actually delete everything and press OK. Because right now that new change you've made will be reflected in the permalink itself. Let me delete that and revert back to what it was. So therefore, the Snippets Preview is actually a great feature. It's basically saying when Google shows your page in its result set, this is how it's going to look. Makes sense? So you can then customize it further here. Then you also have this button here. Let's press on that. If you're sharing your blog posts on your Facebook profile or page, then it's smart to provide the title and also the description for Facebook as well, making these two unique compared to the post itself or the page itself. Facebook image, you can upload the image from your media library. The size of it requires to be this big so that it looks okay on your Facebook shares. You also have a tab here for Twitter. If you're marketing on Twitter or you have Twitter profile, you are active at it, then it's only smart to include title for your blog post for Twitter as well as simply describe the post and add Twitter image as well. But once again, for taking advantage of these with images as well, do consider making the images proportional to the recommendations here. Then we have settings page here, as in this gear icon. Now this is rather advanced. You can select no index if you want. Default is indexed. You can select meta robots follow, no follow. Basically, index means let search engines like Google index your blog post. If you select no index, you're basically telling them, as in search engines, to not put the data found on your blog posts into their database. That's what you're saying by saying no index. So you shouldn't definitely check this, but it may be handy at rare occasions. And follow and no follow is to do with links. If we select no follow, we're basically telling search engines when they find links on our blog posts, don't follow those links, because that's what search engines do. They follow links. So both options are there. You can delete that or select different ones here. I'm not going to cover them because most of them you don't need it, because these are advanced features anyway. So you shouldn't be playing around with these, but nonetheless, remember these options are here available using this plugin. Canonical URL is you can change the permalink to be something different here. You can definitely read more about canonical URLs by searching Google. But WordPress actually takes care of that with this plugin anyway. Okay, it's best bet that I show you what that is, because canonical URLs are very important. Let's look at the source code by pressing on our keyboard Control and U, and let's look at canonical URL. Okay, that is a linked canonical URL. Basically, when search engines find this line of code here, then it tells search engines, you know what, search engines, this is the original URL for what you find on this blog post. That means if you find this content somewhere else on my page, just remember this is the original URL. Thus, canonical URL. That's what that is all about. But nonetheless, Yoast SEO plugin gives you the options to set them here as well. Once again, you don't need to play around with this, just in case you say to yourself, you know what, no, I want to modify them, then be my guest, do modify them. Then lately we have this star thing here. Let's press on that. It's all about upselling more premium plugins and so on. But at the end of the day, remember, target keywords, create content for people, not for search engines. Don't focus on keywords too much. Do your keyword research, find the keywords that you think, you know what, people are searching for these. Let me create engaging, useful, original content. Makes sense? And simply publish that. So create content for your website visitors' best interest in mind. Because then doing basic SEO and following the best practices will definitely help you to gain better results in Google search engine rankings. And once again, I thank you very much for learning with me.